Urns have this measuring tube, and those measuring tubes are holding water in there. The water is not hot enough. It's usually lukewarm. The problem is, on Shabbat, if you try to take water from your urn, this tube that holds some water, the water in there goes into the urn and instantly gets cooked. So is it mutar to take water from such a water urn? Because every time you take water, you're cooking that water that is not in a heating point at that time. So the halakha says like this. Normally, we hold that yesh bishul achar bishul belach, which means even though it was cooked initially, but every time you recook it, there's still cooking on it, and therefore lichora it should be asur. But there's a lot of reasons to be lenient. First of all, this that we're saying that yesh bishul achar bishul belach is a machloket poskim. We have many rishonim that hold, we say en bishul achar bishul even belach, like the Rambam, the Rashba, the Ran. Although the Shulchan Aruch wasn't posek like that, but it seems like the Rema went with that lehalakha. I just made a pshara. Secondly, you have another reason to be mekel, and that is when you take the water, you don't need that extra water to get cooked, and therefore it's psik reisha de lo nichale. Although we posek psik reisha de lo nichale is asur, but with other tzirufim we could be mekel. This is how the Shulchan Aruch holds in Siman Shin Kaf. Over here you have other tzirufim, as we're going to mention now. You have another tziruf to be mekel, and that is every time you take the water, you're actually doing it begrama, because when you're opening that faucet, every time you do that, it's not that you're putting it manually, you're putting the water into this pipe water into the urn, rather it's just opening the valve and the water automatically goes in there. And therefore that's called the grama. The Khatam Sofer says like this openly, and this is how Chacham Ovadia brings down halakha lemaaseh. For all these reasons, that there are poskim that say that en bishul achar bishul belach, and the fact that you have over here something it's lo nichale, it's psik reisha, but it's lo nichale. You're not interested in that water to get cooked. You're not gaining anything from that. And thirdly, you have over here a grama. Together, there always a Rashba that you could be metzaref, says Chacham Ovadia, and the Rashba says that when you have a deer in the house and you're closing the door because you want the house to be protected, and also you want to hunt the deer, you have two intentions in mind, says the Rashba, that's davar mutar. We're not posek like this Rashba l'halakha, but we could be metzaref over here as well. Over here your intention is to take the water, not to get cooked. And even if you had that intention that water in the pipe should get cooked, you'll have that Rashba to be metzaref. So all these reasons, Chacham Ovadia holds that it's mutar. But the poskim that are machmir. Belsky held v'sfaradim, it's asur, because it's now in the level, the water is in heat level of less than yad soledet, it should be asur. Ashkenazim, that all they need in order not to be over on the isur of bishul is posher, water that's lukewarm. You have over here enough to be mekel, but for Sfaradim he holds you to be machmir. Minchat Yitzchak is machmir, and there are many poskim that are machmir. But lemaaseh, Chacham Ovadia, the Or LeTzion says for Sfaradim it's mutar, and for Ashkenazim, the poskim Ashkenazim definitely say it's mutar because the water in there is lukewarm, and therefore, since it was cooked at one point, it would be mutar. Also, another tziruf is that it's not so pashut to say that the water is not yet, right now, yad soledet, because it is a safek, and on safek, definitely you could be mekel in all the tzirufim that we said. Chazak u'baruch.